One of the biggest AI CEOs in the world just warned that AI could eliminate up to 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs in the next 5 years. That could push the unemployment to levels that we have not seen since the Great Depression. But here's the weird part. The unemployment rate in the United States right now is only about 4.3%. So I'm going to be explaining what's actually going on in the world and in this new world that we're experiencing. But let me set the stage here, and I do want to break it down into 3 different stages. Stage number 1 is predictive AI. This is going to be the AI that predicts things. So for example, it can predict what you might want to watch on Netflix. So it gives you Netflix recommendations. It could also predict fraud detections and even credit scoring. It helps humans decide on things. Then you do have generative AI, which is AI that creates content. I believe that many of you guys are very familiar with this, right? Like how CapCut has implemented AI into its systems and how it could create content for you without you editing a single thing. Maybe you also have ChatGPT writing certain prompts for your Instagram post, or Midjourney generating images, or AI coding assistance. It does help humans produce work faster. And then you have stage 3, which is agentic AI. And that is where the real change is happening. This is where the AI can complete entire workflows by itself. So instead of human analysts pulling data, analyzing it, writing a report, and sending it to the manager, an AI agent can do all 4 steps automatically, very fast. And that is exactly where many companies are getting very excited, because there is a huge economic incentive with this. The math is brutal. And so I'm going to be doing some cost comparison. Let's just say, for example, a company hires 3 junior analysts, and that company has to pay $90,000 each a year per analyst. The total cost for that company with benefits would be around $350,000 a year in terms of paying the salary to these 3 junior analysts. But if you compare that with the AI and what the company would have to pay to the AI systems might cost around $15,000 to $20,000 per year. And the fact that this AI system can work 24 hours a day, never sleep, never take vacations, never quit, never complain, never get pregnant, etc. From a corporate perspective, the incentive here becomes very obvious. And we all know that companies today care way more about profit margins than hiring large teams, especially when the large teams cost way more. There's even real world evidence with this already starting in real time. There are law firms out there where usually they have junior lawyers spend years doing things like reviewing contracts, scanning legal documents, writing first drafts. But now there are AI tools like Harvey that are already doing this. And some law firms report 70 to 80% time reduction on document reviews because of this AI tool. And then you have software engineering, right? Studies show companies using AI coding assistants hire fewer junior developers. And one senior developer with AI tools can produce the output that used to require a small team. But going back to the original question, right? Like we see all this, we see how AI is changing the workforce. Why is the unemployment rate still at 4.3%? Because that's very small. And I believe that it does come down to 3 different reasons. Point number 1, technology adoption takes time. So like, even though we have the technology here today to do all these things, businesses, or at least some, not all, but they move very slow. Like banks, hospitals, and governments, they cannot deploy this type of AI overnight. It's going to be taking some time. So yes, it exists. It can take a lot of jobs, but it's not going to be coming tomorrow. It could take about 1 to 2, maybe even 3 years. Reason number 2, AI can still make mistakes. So AI can hallucinate. It can produce the wrong answers. In fields like medicine or finance, even a small error can cause a massive legal problem. And so a lot of companies cannot really afford that. This would still mean that the humans will need to supervise the system. And then you have reason number 3, which is the infrastructure limits. AI does require massive computing power, and data centers consume enormous electricity. So scaling AI to millions of agents could be very expensive. And that, my friends, is the reason why as of today, or at the very least, as of for the year of 2026, the unemployment rate is at 4.3%. It's very low. Let's also take it a step further. There is a certain group here who are going to be going through the most risk because of this shift, because the AI implementation is not going to disrupt all types of workers. It's mainly going to disrupt the entry-level white-collar jobs. So for example, the junior analyst, the administrative assistants, the paralegals, the entry-level coders. It is going to be them that are going to be experiencing this huge disruption. And all of these jobs that I have just mentioned, they involve repeatable information tasks, which AI can perform very well. There has also been some reports showing that companies are already reducing entry-level hiring by around 60% in certain sectors, and that is because of the AI implementation. And to me, I'm not gonna lie, this does create a huge problem because one of the biggest questions that I personally do have that I don't have the answers for is, how do future experts learn if entry-level jobs disappear? Like, how do you even get into a field when you don't even give them a chance in the first place? So as of right now, I would say that automation historically has always replaced manual labor. But for the first time in history, I believe, this new wave will be targeting the knowledge work, not the manual labor. I do believe that the physical jobs will remain difficult to automate. Like, for example, the electricians, the plumbers, the construction workers, the nurses. Maybe this could be where the people could go in terms of finding new careers to make sure that they can still find work in the first place. It could be in the physical world. So here's going to be some questions. If AI dramatically increases productivity, society does face a choice here. You look at the wealth flow mostly to the owners of the AI systems, or governments redistribute some of the gains through policies like universal basic income or large retraining programs, which is something that we did talk about in a previous video on this channel. So the next decade, I would say, will determine whether AI becomes a productivity revolution that benefits everybody, or we could see one of the largest wealth transfers in history. And I don't mean to scare anybody here. I know that a lot of people are going to be having questions about what their future is going to look like, how are they going to be finding jobs, but if you look throughout history, you can always see that when new technology and new adoption does arrive, new jobs end up getting created. So you can also look at it through that type of lens. So for example, we have the calculator analogy. When calculators were invented, mathematicians never disappeared, but accountants and engineers could do their work much faster. So you can look at AI as a calculator for thinking tasks. You can also look at the steam engine analogy. The steam engine did not eliminate work. It did replace certain jobs, yes, but created entirely new industries. And so let me know what you guys think about this whole thing. How do you plan to settle yourself with this new adaptation? Are you excited about the future? And do you have any plans on how you're going to be adapting AI into your own personal workflow? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.